All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Aaron, and it's been a while since we did our last Ewok Village update. This will be part 2 of a multi-part series all about my adventure of trying to create a 6-foot table dedicated to one giant Ewok village. So let's go take a look at the progress we've made since the last video, and then we're gonna build some more trees today. Let's do it. All right, so here's a decent look at what a single Ewok Village set would look like as it was released by Lego many years ago. I have, since our last update, purchased a second Ewok Village. I found a good deal on eBay, and I built a couple of mock trees so that we could expand on the Ewok Village. So what you're looking at is a couple of Ewok villages plus a couple of trees. The two tall trees are sort of my mock homemade trees. And if I take a step back, this is where the current Ewok Village stands. I think it's coming along nicely. It's not where I want it to be yet. I really want it to be fuller, lusher, a lot more green, a lot more trees, hoping that this entire 6-foot table is going to eventually become a ginormous Ewok Village. We're gonna get some ground play in there. We'll have some bushes and, downed trees and stuff on the green area as well. But this is sort of where we stand at the moment. I think that today is going to be build some more trees for the Ewok Village, probably a couple more really tall ones, trying to really add some depth. I know that I'm not an expert on visual stimulation necessarily, but I know that when your eye needs to move, generally speaking, things are more visually appealing. And so by having trees at multiple eye levels, I think it, creates a more visually appealing look. So we're gonna create a couple of more tall trees today, see how that goes. But in addition to that, we've been ordering tons and tons of Ewok parts and Endor Rebels. You can see the Ewok collection is growing. We'll have some catapults in there and whatnot. A whatnot friend gifted me these Ewok wings, so I'm gonna have to get those in there somewhere. So let's do some tree building today. All right, guys, so here I sit at my building station. I'm kind of surrounded by stuff. I've got lots of brown parts here, all sorts of plates. I've got just everything you can imagine, tree parts, all sorts of stuff surrounding me. You may not be able to see a lot of it, but I also bought this giant box of brown parts. Look at this. It's just gonna go on and on. It's all reddish brown, so we're gonna have to mix in some other colors just to kind of keep it visually interesting. But we're gonna have some fun building some trees today. So we're gonna do a little kind of slow motion video, maybe a time lapse, something like that, just to show you guys the process. This is gonna take a while. I've got my computer set up for a little whatnot, keep me interested while I'm building here, and we're gonna have some fun today. So stick around, enjoy the time lapse. All right, guys, so I'm gonna stop the time lapse there because I really don't have a good feel for how long a time lapse video is interesting to watch. If that's something you are enjoying and you want me to do more of that, I am happy to do it. But obviously the time lapse is only a few seconds for you to watch, but it's like a really long time for me to build. And I'm kind of sitting there going, I'm having fun building, but I really have no idea if this is interesting to watch. So I'll stop it there for this video, but if you guys were enjoying the time lapse, I'm happy to do more of those so you can see these trees kind of come together. But this is where we're at so far. This is gonna be another one of the tall trees for the Ewok Village. We obviously need a bunch of foliage on it, and I'm tempted to go up one more level just to kind of have this be a really tall tree to go in the background. And then we're going to build another tree today as well. This tree has just been a sort of a very basic technique of taking random slope pieces and just kind of stacking them together, and then taking some inverted slope pieces just to kind of have them get some texture and, not have them just be super flat. And then you occasionally kind of sprinkle in some other colors just to give it some visual appeal. I am not pretending to be the world's greatest builder at all, but I do enjoy Lego just as sort of a hobby, and enjoy it just to kind of have fun with. So, I'm happy with how it's turning out so far, and I'm happy with the Ewok Village so far. Not pretending I'm going on Lego Masters or anything, but, like I said, just having fun with it. So I hope you guys are enjoying this journey as I am. I'm going to finish off this tree using this technique with the various slopes, and then I'll give you an update on that. And then I'm going to try a different technique for the second tree of the day. All right, guys, I'm going to call it there for tree number 1. It is not complete. We're going to add other things to it eventually, but for fun, I'm going to call it there and put this one into the Ewok Village. It's a pretty tall tree. But fun. I added a bunch of foliage to it so that it's starting to look pretty lush. Let's go put it into the Ewok Village and see how it looks. All right, so here's a quick before shot. I'm going to put it on the left-hand side there behind this part of the village just to kind of give it some depth. So let's see how it looks after we put it in there. All right, just a real quick, there it is in there. I think it adds some nice depth to the whole thing. Trees just take a long time, and it'll take the Ewok Village a long time to come together. Hoping to build one more tree today to kind of put right into this gap right here. And we'll just be getting fuller and fuller on the Ewok Village. Love the way it's coming together. All right, guys, I have finished up tree number 2, or I shouldn't say finished up, but I've been working on tree number 2, yet another really tall one here. But I used a different technique this time just for fun. I used this stud on the side technique here for building up. And then I used these plates to kind of build the side of the tree in. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand, but it should just kind of lock in like this. And so actually all 4 sides of this thing are done that way. It's a kind of a fun way to build up. You can see I've got one more right here. Again, one-handed is tricky, but let's see if I can get this one to lock in for you. Maybe this way if I can pinch. Whoops, I knocked off some leaves. But there you go. The problem with this technique is that it makes it really hard to add in any of the branch pieces. So you do have a lot of studs directly on the side like this, but that doesn't work real well with these arch pieces. So I actually used them on the side and then used yet another stud on the side piece right there to get back to sort of the up and down build technique so that I could put some more leaves on there. So if I step away from this thing, here's the tree that I've got. I'm not gonna say it's finished, but let's go put it in the Ewok Village and see how it looks. All right, guys, 2 trees have been added to the Ewok Village. They're gonna be the 2 tall ones here on the left-hand side in the background. It's amazing the difference that trees in the background will make, those are kind of tall, they will make to the overall feel of the scene. So we're getting there. Let me see if I can back up smoothly a little bit here, and you can see the whole Ewok Village as it sits right now. There it is. I think it looks a lot different than it did this morning without these 2 tall trees in the background. So I'm very excited about adding those. Since the last update, I've also put in a bunch of these seagrass pieces that kind of dangle down on this tree. It really fills out the tree a lot more. This tree doesn't have them yet, but I'll get some more and put them in there. You can see we've put them in some of the other trees as well. So the Ewok Village is coming along. Next steps, couple of next steps coming. First, I really want to do something with the undergrowth. Have some like bushes and weeds and, just not flat green here. We're going to give it some undulation, maybe a little topography, and then obviously add some, some things down there, some down trees, some weeds, stuff like that. I think that'll make it feel a lot more like a forest. And then I want to add some more bridges. These bridges are super cool and a lot of fun. But I think it would be fun. I might have to work on the height of some of the platforms to make them uniform enough that we could kind of have longer bridges across there. But those, I think, are some new steps coming, along with more trees. I really want this thing to have, I don't know, at least 1.5 times this amount of trees, maybe 2 times. It takes a while to build trees, but we'll see. And then obviously a bunch of Ewoks will be populating our Ewok Village someday. Thank you guys for following along with my Ewok Village. This is part 2 of I don't know how many, but if you want to start at the beginning and see part 1, I'll link it up here. But feel free to follow along with a subscription if you're interested in seeing how this thing grows over time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day.